um, me going live and talking to you guys about empowering yourselves in your own life is very important to me. Um, I had a little bit more stuff to talk about tonight, so I've come back on and I'll wait for a couple of people to join, but we'll get into it once they are with us. But I hope everything is going well for everyone out there, and I hope that you're empowering yourselves in your own lives, which is what life's about. Empower yourself, realise you're in control, and make great things happen for yourself. Believe in who you are. Believe in you, like I do. Believe in myself. So what is it that I want to chat to you about? Okay. Well, we'll wait to see people coming on, but, the reality of, I'm not giving any warning, I'm just popping on here, but what I wanted to talk about was programming. How you naturally, how I've told everyone that I believe that what you believe creates what happens to you in your world. So what your beliefs are within yourself is what actually powers the creation of what happens around yourself. So I want people to understand that their programmings that have probably happened to them or to most people when they were younger, by family, by friends, by people that you meet through your life, their beliefs get taken on by individuals. And we often create ourselves and who we are from all of those things that have been passed on to us as the meaning of life, from people that have just randomly come up with these thoughts and understandings about life. There's no one belief that's correct. Belief is what you want to make of it. If you believe something, then if you truly believe something exists in your life, I do believe quite strongly that that will manifest in your life if you truly believe it. There are no beliefs that we program ourselves with, which are the be-all and end-all as far as belief goes. So, I want people to understand that they can change what they believe, in turn changing their world for themselves for the better. But the danger out there, the danger is that we are unwittingly being programmed by things out there that we don't realise we're being programmed by, i.e. the media, television, music, lots of things that send messages or program them into our subconscious, and then we make them a reality in our own lives. I mean, we don't often think about it. We don't often sit back and go, is that something that I'm taking on? Is that something that I'll end up turning into a belief? Dark Soul, how you going, mate? Welcome along. We're doing what I always do, chatting about life and things that many people don't want to chat about. So it's open-ended, our discussions, and it's really, when I have a chat about things, it's about take what you like about what I say, chuck out what you don't like. There's no right or wrong here. Hello, how we going? Minnie, the Dash Hound, very nice name going on there. So let's get back to it. The beliefs that we have, that we've had put upon us as kids, as adolescents, as people that were around, those beliefs become true to us, and we believe that's what life is. And then we go about manifesting or putting those out there in the world, and that's what creates the reflection around us. But we're not just programmed by our family and friends, we're programmed by everything around us in society, i.e. TVs, every message that comes from everywhere. If we don't pay attention to that, often we're taking on programmings from things that we really don't want to program us. I want everyone to realise that you're in charge of what you want to believe. You're in charge of the program that you want to set within your own mind. It's your mind, right? We're all individuals. We've all come from the same place, and we're all going to the same place. But it's your mind. Take control of that. Can we put duty over religion? Absolutely. I'm someone that, look, I'm a spiritual individual. I believe in, that I'm the one that's got the power for me. It's not about what I want to do to anyone else. It's about me improving my existence, doing things and creating things that are more aligned with what I want to create in life, what I want to experience in life, how I prefer to go through something. I don't have to go through a lesson in a negative way to learn something. There's many, many ways you can go through and experience something to learn the same lesson. So, religion, Vicky Pierce, how you going? Welcome. Really, it's about, I was talking earlier tonight in my first live tonight about authenticity, right? About being authentic with yourself. You can't bullshit to yourself, guys, right? The one person you can't lie to is you, all right? And yes, hi, back at you. So you've got to be authentic with you, because if you're not, you can't change anything. Deacon Lamb, how you going? Welcome. You can't change anything about your own life if you're not authentically honest with what you believe. Yes, I am Australian. Been here my whole life. Love it. Great country. Good people. Now, you've got to take ownership, but you've also got to be aware of the programmings that are happening around you all the time. So TV is a big one, right? The amount of the news and the media and all the stuff they pump at us, we've got to be careful not to take that as gospel. Like, when something bad happens out there, someone does something bad on the news, say someone gets stabbed or whatever, and it's a terrible situation, it doesn't mean that everyone out there in society is running rampant, hurting each other. It's usually one bad situation out of millions and millions of people in a town or a city. You get a few things happening in different places around the world that are worse than others, but, everyone always seems to get caught up in the emphasizing of, if something bad happens, we all remember it, right? We all remember that person stuffed up, they fell over, they said the wrong thing, they did the wrong thing. We all remember that. But we should be remembering the 100 things that were positive, the good things, because we want to be projecting that into our life. We want our life to transform for the better, but we all hang on to these negative experiences and we think that, that's what it's like everywhere. Well, it's not, right? It's not. It's, from my perspective, and I've proven this to myself many, many times, what you put out, what you believe is what comes back, right? So you've just got to really take ownership and really take notice of what's happening around you in your own world, and, understand that what things are happening out there, you've projected that out there to give yourself the reflection, to have a choice whether you want to continue to have those experiences in that way. You can learn anything you want to learn in whatever way you want. Some people like horror movies and they want to learn things by scaring the hell out of themselves. Well, they can go ahead and do that. I like comedy movies, all right? So I want to have a good laugh. So you can learn. There's many ways to experience and learn and grow and expand your awareness with life. I suppose that's what I'm saying. And I want people, if they take anything from listening to me and having a chat to it, I've had a lot of mentors in my life that have been very open-minded, really amazing, some of the amazing people that have taught me things from when I was a young guy, having, the issues of a young adult and not understanding what life really was. And I was lucky to bring into my life people that were really clear and understood life in a way that resonated with me. I was able to empower myself through learning their understandings. And I think that's something that I just want to pass on. So through a live situation, I find this is the best way for people to jump on, hang out for a few minutes, have a listen to a few things. If you do have any questions, guys, please chuck them up there. And serious questions and that too, and you can get my perspective on stuff. I've got no dramas in discussing whatever. I'm happy to talk about the things about life that most people don't want to talk about. I mean, let's just question this. You know, we're all born, we all come into this life as babies. We have a conscious awareness. We look around. We don't actually know anything. You know, and then people start telling us how to be, but none of us really know where we came from, and none of us know where we go after we die. So at the end of the day, the one thing I can tell you that's the same is we've all come from the same place, and we're all heading to the same place, wherever that may be. But I want to learn in a positive environment. I want to experience the life the way that I choose to. What do I prefer to live like? How do I want to be? Well, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to, you know, on a daily basis, wake up and be happy with who I am in my own skin, right? You just have to be happy with who you are, right? Be happy with who you are, look in the mirror and feel good about yourself. Like, feel good about who you are. We're all amazing people. We're not sinners. We're not terrible people. We're amazing people. We're people that have a consciousness. We're people that, you know, love and live and grow and laugh. And, you know, if you look at people out there and what they are genuinely like across the world, people are good people. People are good people. Doesn't matter what nationality, colour, race, that doesn't matter. We're all people. We all want to have a wonderful, comfortable, loving, happy life. That's all we want, right? We just want to enjoy our lives. And, you know, sometimes you just need to sit down, have a chat, get some stress off the shoulders. That's what me going live is about. You know, I've learned about life in different ways and with different people. And, you know, if you want to sit down and just ask questions, talk to me, whatever, I'm happy to give people my opinion and how I see life, right? You are the most powerful person you'll ever meet. You are, you know, you go on forever. As far as I'm concerned, you know, our consciousness never disappears. Our spirit lives forever. We live this life. We live many, many lives. I'm a believer in we go on and on and on. So if you're worried about that, don't be. Even if you might not have found that comfortable space where you've proven that to yourself. And I can tell you from the heart of hearts with me, I've proven that to myself. I don't have to prove it to anyone else, but I'm very comfortable in my own skin about, you know, how I see life, and that there's not to be fearful of when we grow old and cross over. That's a part of the experience that we've created. We learn from every day, experience ourselves and reflections of ourselves at many different aspects of this life, right? So enjoy it and grasp it and embrace it and be good to you, right? Always be good to you. I said this earlier in my earlier live today, and I felt like coming back on because I was thinking about, you know, the reflections of what's going on out there with media and how they do try and program us with the negative of life's, everything bad's going on out there. But they find the one negative experience and they focus on it, right? Polly Smith, oh, you're back on, mate. How you going? Well, man, you know, people are people, right? I mean, obviously, you know, some people don't like some people, and it may be because of experiences that an individual has had, but I choose to let go of all type of any type of negative or hatred feeling towards anyone. I think everyone should be treated equal, and that's just a general consensus to life. I mean, everyone's come into this world by himself and everyone's going to leave by himself. So where does an individual have the right to dictate that person's less than or this person's more than? I think they're programmings of society. I think we're often fearful of anything different to who we are. And, you know, people are good, mate. As long as someone's not forcing their opinion upon someone else, I always have the same comment. Take the things you like that I say, chuck out what you don't like. We're all unique individuals, mate, and we're all going to have our own opinion about all situations, and we're all going through our lessons at different levels. So no one is better than anyone else. And when I say different levels, it just means that you're basically going through a different experience for different reasons that you want to learn to someone else. And we all are amazing beings. We have all come from the same damn place, my friend, and we've all been born as human beings, and we're all going to die as human beings. So if you find yourself caught up thinking that a certain human being isn't as good as another one, well, that doesn't logically sit with me if you look at it from that perspective, right? Because we're all the same, mate, at the end of the day. Yes, we all look uniquely different. We have different coloured skins, etc., different nationalities, all that type of stuff. But we're all human, mate. We all want the same thing. I think we all just want to be happy. And if you treat people the way you want to be treated, I think life's going to be okay for everyone. There's too much hatred and there's too much war out there for me. And that's just how it is, right? We have to let go of our negative feelings towards other people. I mean, it doesn't do us any good. We're actually kind of hurting ourselves because, when you're getting angry, it just, when you get angry about something, it stresses you out big time. And you feel that, I've been there. When I was younger, I was a pretty angry young man when I didn't understand the truth about myself and I didn't have that information. And so you got frustrated with yourself. It built up, right? But you've just got to be kind to yourself. You've got to sit back and have a think about, how you would like to be treated in a day-to-day basis by everyone else out there, and try and do that for other people. Try and be appreciative of what other people do for you. If you put out positive things to people, they're going to come back. They're going to give that back to you tenfold, right? I prove that to myself all the time. So be good to yourself. That's my message, guys. Just be good to yourself. There's no right way of believing about life. Life is life, right? No one can take that away from you, and no one can lessen it. And no one can, hey, hi, what's this about? Tim Tung. All right, well, mate, I'm basically someone that likes to speak about life. And, my perception about things is from different people that I've had mentor me over my life. And basically, mate, you can ask me any questions you like about anything. I'll talk about everything. But believe me, just take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I'm a big believer in the individual. I'm a big believer in, being positive, putting out what you want. That's what comes back into your life. If you treat people the way you want to be treated, you will have a better experience of what happens around you. You are the center of your universe. There isn't anyone making shit happen to you. You make all the shit happen to you. So if that is the case, we all need to stop being dicks, and we all need to start being really nice people if what I'm saying is true. Because if you want good shit to happen, do good shit. Simple, right? There's no right or wrong. There's no one belief. It's just that exists. We exist to create and experience and learn. This whole experience of life is about us learning more about who we are as individuals that exist. I can't give you any more information or any more broadness about it. I mean, once we all cross back over to wherever we came from, we're going to get those answers, right? But I like to talk about it. I like to be open-minded. I like people to have honest conversations about this stuff. Most people will tell you nothing and talk about none of this stuff in general day-to-day life, right? They keep it to themselves and they think, oh, I don't want to talk about that because people will think I'm weird. Well, I'll let you know something. Weird's good, guys. Being an individual is good. Being authentic is good, right? Authentic people have amazing stuff happen in their life. Genuinely authentic. You've got to feel good about yourself so that others see that in you, and you attract those type of people to you. If you act bad, if you act a certain way, you will attract people that act the same way. Have you ever looked at why your friends are into the same things in most cases to what you're into. There's similarities there. That's why you become friends. Like attracts like. It's a universal kind of understanding. Similar vibrations attract to each other. So if you're going to want more positive in your life, put out more positive. If you want things to turn to shit, put out more negative attitude. Be angry, get upset, carry on. You will attract those people to yourself like flies to a piece of crap, right? Really, really simple. It works automatically, right? It's just these things most people will not generally talk about like I'll talk about, right? So, look, I love life. Life is an experience, right? It's an experience. It's a mind-blowing experience. I mean, you want to know the meaning to life? It's 42, guys. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Cool movie, that one. I love it from back in the day. 42 is the answer. It's as good as any answer you're ever going to hear. All right? So, you know, life is the thing that I like to talk about. And we go on about that a little bit. And if you ever have, you know, subscribe to my channel. If you ever have questions or things are stressing you out and you see me jump on a live, throw a question up, ask my opinion. It doesn't hurt, right? If you don't like my answer, you can move on, get an answer from someone else. But I think it's important to take different people's opinions, jumble them up, and see the one that sticks and sits with you. Trust your intuition. If you're not sure what your intuition is your first thought or the gut answer, the thing that comes into your first. So when you're actually got a problem and you get a answer straight away, that's actually the one you should be listening to. First thought is never wrong, but we always, in general, people second guess themselves and then they end up getting confused and they forget what the first thought was. All right? Trust yourself. You've brought yourself into this life. You are the creator of your own reality from what I believe. You've brought yourself in, so, hey, you can actually change these things as you go along. You can actually transform things because you're the empowerer. You're the one that's actually in control. You, no one else, no imaginary being is making shit happen to you. Your belief system makes shit happen to you. Repent before it's too late. Well, my friend, I understand religion very, very well, and it's a very limiting way of seeing things. But if it's a thing that makes you comfortable and you're happy with your beliefs, then that is fine by me. I do not have an issue with what people believe. And what I believe is what I've proven to myself. And that's just how life is to me. And, you know, I suppose my advice to people that see this as too broad or bad or whatever, don't limit the way you look at things. Allow yourself to be open-minded enough to see that there's more there. You know, sometimes religion is a good kickoff to understanding that life's bigger than what religion says. You know, religion's religion. There's lots of different religions, but they're all quite limiting from how I look at things. And there are beliefs within different religious sects that, you know, do instill things like fear into people to make them kind of do what they want to do. So, you know, you want to just, if it makes you comfortable within yourself, religion, or what you believe, that's great, right? Go forward in the life, enjoy, believe what you are comfortable with. But, you know, for me, I'm a bit more, I just want to look at things from a broader perspective, and basically not limit myself from bringing in lots of different ideas about life, right? I mean, that's it. If people struggle to, you know, broaden their belief system, that's okay. I mean, because we all, you know, we all want to know more. Black rock in the North Pole. I'm not sure what that is, my friend. We all want. What are they hiding? See, I don't know. I don't know what they're hiding. But we all want basically to be very aware of what life is about, right? Like religion and spirituality, they being that type of thinking person or a philosopher way of thinking or any of that stuff, we all want to know the answer to why we exist. And that's where I come from. I just want to know what's the truth, or as much of the truth as I can uncover for myself in this life, I will try and do, right? So I'm not going to put a ceiling on something. I'm not going to try and, stay in that box of belief. I want to go further. I want to allow myself to see as much as I can. And, what are they hiding? Well, governments are hiding a truckload. And it's a small group of the government, or it's, whatever, that's been hiding a lot of stuff, I believe, from the general populace of this planet for a very long time. And I think all the truth will come out. I talk about being authentic a lot. I talk about people, listening to their heart, feeling good about themselves. If you are someone that is holding a lot of crap in or acting a certain way, the crap always comes to the surface, right? Crap always comes to the surface. So all these people that have been acting in really controlling negative ways for many, many decades and longer, their shit's going to come to the surface, and we're all going to see it. And we are starting to see a lot of those people come up, and their hidden shit and the things that they've done are coming to the surface, and we're seeing them for who they are, right? And who knows, maybe lizard people are there too, mate. I mean, we really don't know. Unless they come out and they shake our hand and we start meeting them, we're not really going to know until that happens, right? But life is massive, man. We're one tiny grain of sand in an ocean of sand, right? You believe in that stuff. I believe that we don't think broad enough about it, where most people are quite limited in the way that they look at things, right? Like, we can't be the only race of beings in this universe, mate. The universe is bigger than any of us actually can absorb in our heads, right? Like, we exist, so why wouldn't other people exist? And maybe they do look different to us. Who bloody knows? Until they actually show themselves and we meet them, we're not going to know. That even in the American Congress, I've been watching things the last couple of years, how they talk about all the hidden UAPs and all that type of stuff, and that the government's all well aware that they've been able to get down UFOs and alien beings. Well, they're all saying amazing stuff, but we haven't seen that evidence yet. It's impossible that we're the only ones. It's just not logical, is it? Jace, no, I appreciate you, man. Think logically about things, right? Don't take things just because people go, on faith, I'm just going to believe that because everyone else is believing that. Well, I've always thought, like, I've got to be able to prove shit to myself, okay? So, look, I'll just throw this out there for you guys tonight. One of the things that I've proven to myself in my life is that we can separate from our physical body. Stepping out of your body or out of body travel is real. I've done that twice in my life through techniques of willing it on. And I did that after reading a book and thinking, this can't be real, as a young guy, and I thought, I'm going to test it out. So, it's not about, it doesn't matter to me if you guys believe me or don't believe me. I've proven that to myself, so I'm very centered about that, and I understand that that's real. UFOs, I haven't had my friends from the universe come down and meet me yet, but I look forward to the day that I get to shake any extraterrestrials' hands. I think it'll be a very exciting experience, and certainly I don't think that anyone that is higher evolved than us, anyone that's got high level of knowledge, they're not going to be people that are coming here to blow us up or take us over. I actually think there'll be beings that will look at us as brothers and sisters, and that they're like our parents, helping us, guiding us along. I think when you get to that level, the Bible is real. Yes, it is a book, and there are stories in it, and I'm sure a lot of them are genuine stories. But I think interpretations of a lot of those stories have been misconstrued. I think that parts of the Bible have been changed over the over the journey. And shout out from Texas, Jace. Yep, you're in the UK. No, I'm an Aussie, mate. I'm down here in Melbourne, Australia. So very similar weather to the UK, can I say. And lots of you Americans and English are out here in Oz, mate, and we welcome you any time of the day or night. We are a really laid back culture in Australia, but I think most of us are pretty open-minded down here, and we know that there's a lot more going on than what the media and other things try and tell us, guys. So, look, I say be open-minded. I say be logical thinkers. Don't let yourself be trapped into, boxes. Really get out there and prove things to yourself, because, I mean, if you can, if certain things are real and you can prove it to yourself, well, that's the most important thing you can do for you, because that'll blow away a lot of your limiting beliefs that stop you from creating even more positive experiences in your life, more amazing things that could come into your life. Have you ever heard the understanding of you can't let something new come into your life that's better until you clear away all the stuff that's in your life that's cluttering it up? When one door closes, another one opens. That's what that means, right? So we have to let go of limiting beliefs as we realize that they're limiting us, to bring in a more broader way of thinking about your life. And your beliefs do control what happens in your reality. Change one belief, be broader thinking in one particular area, and watch different people and different things come into your life. When you start to realize that, that's when you realize who's actually in control of your life. It's you, right? Yeah. So, look, guys, I appreciate all you guys. I really do. Please take what you like and chuck out what you don't like. My lives are about just having a chat and throwing out ideas and knowledge. And if you have any serious questions about life that you want to ask at any time, you can throw them out there, right? But it's about being as positive with yourself and loving towards yourself, so that you're putting out that vibe out there to create a more positive world for yourself. And as every single individual does that more, our world will transform, right? Personally, all religion was a beginning of the spiritual aspect to us all. And I think we need to eventually let go of the titles of religion and just be spiritual people. Be who we are. We are spiritual people. We are beings that have come in to this life as a baby. We exist, we learn things, and then we leave as an old person when we cross back over. Where, anything else before and after, everyone will have an opinion, or people have an opinion. But can they factually prove it? No, none of us can. Be open-minded, be good to your fellow man, be happy, joyous people. That's what I want to be, right? Everyone else out there, you can choose to do and be whoever you want to be. But I think it's more fun to have fun, right? Like, it's that simple, right? And I think most people are good people. And the ones that are having trouble are just, they're lost. They've got some issues that they just can't let go of, You can believe and not be religious, Jace. Exactly, mate. You can. I don't like titles. I will say I'm a spiritual person. I believe life goes on. I believe we live forever. Simple as that, right? But I don't have to put a title on it. I don't think that there's a particular being saying, "Oh, this religion, you're all good, and everyone else can bugger off." That's crazy talk, right? We're all spiritual people. We're all exactly the same. Even the demons believe. That's it. If you want to believe in demons, well, maybe they'll exist for you, right? But it's what you want. You have to get that concept, right? People have to get that concept for themselves, that it is what you believe in. So why the hell, if that's the case, why the hell would you believe in scary shit or angry shit or negative shit? Why would you do that? Because if what you believe creates what happens around you, if there's turmoil around you, it means you've got tumultuous beliefs inside you. So let them go. Believe that positive, great stuff's going to happen. Believe you're a good person. Believe that you only want to be around loving, fun, happy people, and your life will transform. That's how you prove that this is real. I've done it over many, many years, changed beliefs, and things change as I go along. But I've proven that to me, right? I've proven that to me. And each person has to prove this to themselves. Like, I know for me that this is real. I know that what I'm saying is real for me, right? But for an individual to understand that they create what happens to themselves, they have to experience creating something for themselves through what they've put out and wanted. If it's either some being is making everything happen to you, which you then would have no control over your life, or you are the being that is creating everything for you, or we all have no control over nothing and nothing's real, and when you die, that's it. But that doesn't make logical sense to me, because we're conscious beings. Consciousness doesn't disappear. Yeah, you can call it the Holy Spirit. No dramas at all, mate. You can call it your energy. You can call it coming from God. God, that's all it is. Basically, you are God. God, that's all it is. That's how I like to look at it. You don't trust yourself. I don't trust myself. Well, you should. You should, man. Seriously. I mean, we all go through shit, right? We've all been through shit. I know, like my younger life, I'm not going to go into all that, but there was a lot of shit I had to work through, right? Mate, everyone is a good person. Everyone. We all choose the situations that we go through what we're being programmed with. So if we had a tough upbringing, often we believe that we're not worthy, and we keep creating that as an adult because those programs are there from the bad situations that we've gone through as a younger person. But it's about realizing that it's the programming that keeps repeating even as an adult, and then realizing that you can change that. If you don't like what is happening in your life, if you don't like who you are, what you need to do is like who you are. Now, I know that sounds really, really simple, but doing something shows that you believe something, all right? Self-love about who you are. I love Craig, right? I love myself. That comes from, I know that if I love myself, then I'm allowing other people around me that love me too, right? If you detest yourself, you will attract people that also detest themselves, and they express that, and it reinforces what you believe. So stop believing that you're not worthy and believe that you are. No, we are all God, Goddess, all it is. We are all from the one source. So Christ, or Jesus, right? I got a story told to me a long time ago that Jesus was a very spiritual man who understood himself as the being that he was, and he was here to try and show other humans that there was more to them than that what they believed. But unfortunately, they turned him into a bit of a martyr, and religion came from that, where everyone was like, wow, you do amazing things and you're the Son of God, etc., etc. But his main story that he wanted to get across was that everyone could do what he could do. Now, that means we're all the Messiah. That means we've all, think about it like this, right? We've all been babies, and we've all come into this life as a baby. Exactly the same, human being, right? Whatever religion or creed we are, it doesn't matter. Come in as a baby, and then we've lived an experience where people have told us stuff, and we've believed it because we haven't known any different. And then we're tasked to actually go on and live this life, and then we die, okay? We're all the same. We're all the same. If you believe that you're a sinner, guess what? Then you're a sinner. That's what I'm trying to say. The belief creates the experience. So do what you prefer. So if you want positive in your life, start to think positive about you. And then what happens and who you attract will be a different type of person. That's how you prove it to yourself. So no one else can prove this stuff to yourself but you, right? You have to go out there and try these things and let go. If you come up in a certain situation makes you feel angry in a certain way, then you are probably going to create anger and hatred about that, and you're going to act a certain way, and then you're going to get other people reacting back in the same way, because like attracts like. You need to realize that that situation has been created because of a certain way you feel about you, and you need to stop believing that negative about you and start believing a positive thing in that area about you. You choose. And Jesus loved himself, right? As an individual, he unconditionally knew who he was and unconditionally loved himself. He was a spiritual man that knew who he was, right? And he was here to show us how we could all become him. Heaven on earth? Correct, right? We make the choice to change our beliefs. We are in charge of that. I got no doubt in my mind that that's how I've transformed my life from where I was all the way through to where I am now, and I'll continue to do that. I am not a perfect person. There are a lot of old beliefs still hanging around, and once they come up in different situations that we find ourselves in, you have to be able to step back from yourself almost, which is the way I kind of find myself doing it, and I can hear myself saying something negative. Do you have anything that disproves the Bible? Well, no, but not specifically. But I'll tell you this, right? Any person or anything that says, if, for example, and I've heard this with a few different religions, if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going, you know, and he died for our sins. If you don't believe in him and give yourself to him, you will go to hell. Is that not a comment that many religions make? That is trying to instill fear into an individual to make them believe what they are saying. Simple as that. When I heard that as a 12-year-old boy, I was mortified. I was very fearful of this particular priest that was preaching away. And I knew in my gut that this wasn't something that sat well for me. Now, some people might get comfort in that, but that is a fearful thing to put onto the congregation. If you don't do it, you're going to burn in hell. Well, that can't be a good thing, right? So that's the way a lot of them control the masses, right? Do the right thing, do the good thing, or else bad things will happen. Well, there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm here to tell you, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's, you know, if you believe there's hell, when you cross over, you'll probably create something that looks like hell until you realise that it's just your creation. That's crazy, right? People go, that's crazy talk. But, you know, you're in charge. You are in charge, all right? And if a person wants to give their power away to a so-called higher being and say that you're lesser than, then that's your choice. But I'm telling you, there's another way to look at life. And if you chose to make that, you will be in the darkness. You know, I love the darkness. There's no light without the darkness, yeah? Yin and yang. They're together. They're one, right? We have to embrace who we are. We have to stop putting ourselves down like we're lesser than, man. We do. And if, you know, if we all do that, then we're all going to be a happier, clearer, better individuals and better people, you know. That's all I wish for. I wish that people stop being too harsh on themselves and start to be kinder to themselves and kinder to others. But, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that believe in religion, right? It's what they've been brought up to believe, and that's what they believe. And if that is as far as that individual goes in this lifetime, that's okay. And I'm just saying that for me, there's a broader way to look at things. There's more to life out there, and you can step further. You can, you know, yeah, yeah. You do what you can. 100%. Man nums. Yeah. We're just having a conversation about life, right? Because that's what I like to do. And religion, it's a label. Being a spiritual person is about being authentic and honest with yourself. You know, if you're lying to yourself, if you're saying you believe something, but then you're acting a different way, that's not really spiritual. That's not being honest to yourself. That's not being true to who you are. I mean, a truly spiritual centered individual, regardless of what they believe or what title they put upon themselves, is honest and integrity, and they have all those right attitudes, and they carry them forward in their life to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And I believe that. And, you know, and I hope that everyone just wants to be that type of version for themselves. I hope that everyone just wants to be the best version that you can be, man. And you can't ask any more than that, guys. You know, I'm basically doing lives now because I want you to hear me talking live. I've done a lot of videos over the last 12 months and so on. I'm not a bloody YouTube expert. I'm someone that really has dived into life and wanted to know the truth about life from a perspective of being able to prove that things exist, not just believe blindly in what other people say is right. I want to prove these things to myself, and I think and there are many things out there in life that you can prove exist, and then go forward knowing that it's real. My heart is hardened. My heart is as open as it possibly can be, my friend. And I wish you the best in life. I really, really do. We have to love everyone. We have to accept everyone for who they are. And that's my message. And I accept you for who you are too, man. And that won't change, right? And I have a lot of religious friends, many different congregations and people that are out there, and it's important that we all accept everyone, and we stop, we need to follow God. Well, no, we don't need to follow God. Like, if an individual wants to follow God in the religious sense, they have every right to. No, that's right. You should never put people down for having different beliefs. I mean, there is no one correct belief. It's just people are, they're allowed to believe and live the way they want to live. If you're not hurting anyone else, then why is it wrong? Who has the right to say that something's right or wrong if you're doing it from the heart? Do things from the heart. Ask yourself honest questions. Be authentic with who you are. Be happy with you. If you're happy with who you are, if you're happy with everything that's happening in your life and you've got nothing to worry about, then go forward and enjoy your life to the fullest potential. The people that struggle through life, they're a lot of those people are the ones that, hey, have a look at your life. Look at what you really enjoy to do. Get out there and start doing that. Do what you prefer. Even if it's going for a walk in the bush and smelling the roses, and of course I would, mate. We've all just, look, in my humble opinion, we've all just got to try and let go of the anger and hatred and anything negative that comes up. We want to be the best version of who we are. And that's what I try to do for me and my family. And that's it. And, I basically treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's it. And it's, your opinion is allowed to be for you. All of you guys, if you want to believe a certain thing and it's about you, and that's what you want to believe, that's absolutely fine. But when you're trying to force an opinion onto someone else, I don't agree with that. I'm very much about take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. We're all unique. Build your own self from a very positive place, and you will turn into the individual that you are, and and it will be a really positive life that you'll be able to create for yourself and experience. But of course we have free will. Absolutely we have free will. But everyone basically has the right to choose how they want to live and how they want to think. I don't think any of us want to get to a position in life where we limit the way we think. You want to keep on allowing new ideas to come in, and I think you want to add to what you already know. I think it's basically, if you're stuck in a certain way of thinking, but you're really happy with that, fine. But don't find yourself going around there trying to tell other people that there's only this when there could be more. I think everyone tries to strive to understand life in a bigger, broader way. When a scientist says something is forcing you, no, not at all, mate. Science has their own opinion. They test things out, but it doesn't mean that that's the answer to life, the universe, and everything either. It's still, yeah. That's all right, mate. And I'm happy for you to be here and chat away, FDS, and that's not a problem, mate. Happy for you to join and listen to my conversations whenever you like, mate. And I will always allow you to be who you are. But I will always disagree with anyone and this isn't about you, but I always disagree with anyone that wants to try and force their opinions upon someone else. I think we all should be open to allow people to be who they want to be, and I think we should all be big enough people to allow that to be, right? And we all do have free will, 100%. We all can choose whatever we want to do and experience in life and create, and that's what makes life so exciting. That's what makes life a joy, and if you want to have those experiences, then you have to, in my opinion, you have to act that way, and that's it, man. Like I said, I don't think a person should limit themselves to one thing. If you find there's more, then you be open-minded enough to allow more in. I mean, well, it's not okay for a murderer to do what he wants, because that would be forcing his will and choosing to take someone's life when, where does he have the right to make anyone do anything, especially murder them? So no, it's not something that I would want to see anyone do, because you're then trying to force yourself upon someone else. One of the things that I hold true is that you can choose what's right for you, as long as you're not hurting someone else and trying to control someone else. No one has the right to control someone else. And that's it. Everyone, I think that people that kill other people in life are often living that experience to, other people experience what happened in that sense. And then they get to experience what they've felt and gone through a situation of someone being killed by someone, and you learn lessons from that. Yes, if you're a person that believes that life is about learning and lessons, and you're a person that believes that we live many lives over and over again, then one life is not the be all and end all, right? But that's if you get to that level of understanding, or you believe that, but I don't think that anyone has the right to force their opinion or their control upon anyone, with belief, actions, violence, anything. I think war is wrong. I think violence is wrong. I think anger. You really need to deal. People get to those points where they build up their frustrations and then they explode because they can't express how they're feeling. I mean, we need to basically let out, our stuff in a positive way and make sure that we're not hurting other people in the process. If a person's a religious person or a spiritual person, they should really understand that and really make a big effort not to dump their own stuff upon other people that are just innocent bystanders, you know. It's very much about taking ownership of who you are and taking control of who you are. Feel good about yourself because you're all good people. Simple as that. You're all good people. That's the point that I'm trying to make. If that's at me, maybe not. But yeah, it's just about taking ownership of yourself and your own actions. And at the end of the day, guess what? Everyone will have to live with the choices that you've made in your life. Right? Everyone will have to live with that. The choices that you make are your choices, whether they're good, bad, or ugly. That's right. Who says what's good? It's the society that usually dictates that something's good or not, right? Yeah. But guys, on that note, I think I've chatted myself out tonight. So I want to really thank you guys for hanging out and just having a chat and being honest and forthright with your opinions. I have no negativity towards anyone. I'm alive. I don't think anyone in society will say that murder's okay. Look, we are having a healthy debate. And guys, look, I wish all the best for you in your lives. If you want to subscribe to my chat when I have other lives come up and I'm talking about different topics, and there will be different topics, feel free to, guys. And it's been a pleasure. I like anyone that wants to have a chat about anything, so I'm open. Happy days. Appreciate you all. Everyone from Melbourne, Australia. It's getting late here, so I will say goodnight. And wherever else you are in the world, enjoy your day or your evening. And you are appreciated, all right? Take care, guys. All right, have a good one.